Hello, everybody. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the research essay. At this point, I am seeing pretty strong mastery of organization and structure for your essays. And the research essay doesn't necessarily follow. It is going to be thesis driven. You're developing an argument in answer to the research questions around research you've done and a text. So you may choose from any genre. You may write about a story, a poem, or a play, any of that. And then you're going to find two additional sources from which you will draw your answer to flesh out your thesis, which is an answer to the research question. So there's two possibilities. Let me just pull up this assignment so it's in front of me while I talk to you. So there's two questions I've crafted. How does the cultural or historical context of blank, the name of the story, poem, or play that you choose, shape the work? So this moves away from literary elements. Of course, you can use literary elements to answer the question in addition to cultural and historical context. So for this, you would need to be researching the historical context of a piece of work. And then as you talk about how the work is shaped, whether if it's a story, you might want to look at plot or theme. Poem, you might want to look at theme or the way the poem is actually put together, literary devices, line breaks, symbolism, imagery, how all of those things create the work that it is, and how all of that connects to and interfaces with cultural or historical context. This obviously lends itself to research because you have to research the cultural historical context and find two sources in order to understand that context of the piece. So in a certain way, this is pretty direct and, easy. Not easy as in it won't be a lot of work, but easy as in it's not super complex. The second one is, what is the theme of, name of the work that you choose, and how does the author use literary devices to establish and develop that theme? This one is very similar to the other essays you've done. Here is where it's going to get tricky. You need to find two additional sources to support your analysis of the lit elements in the theme. Here you may be wanting to move beyond, obviously you won't be looking up the history of this piece for essay option 2, but you can look up critiques of the work. You can look up other people's analytical work about that. You can look up reviews. Sometimes reviews have really, really profound and advanced analysis of the work. So that's an option for 2. 2 is a little bit more, in one way it's easier than 1 because it's the kind of essay you've already been writing, meaning you're examining the things that make up literature, the literary devices and elements to develop a theme. And how the author uses it, right? You already have 2 essays worth of practice doing this. But what's harder for this one, I think, is finding sources to support your work. So if you choose whatever work you choose, it's going to have to be popular enough that other people have written about it if you choose option 2. And then finally, the third option is create your own. I love this. Like I said in a previous video about essay 2, it is very evident how advanced the thinking is in this class, really across the board. Even folks who are still working on developing organization of thought, the level of thought and the level of your analysis is really great. So I'm excited for this option for a lot of you because I suspect some of you may choose it because you think so creatively. However, I want to make sure that you're moving in the right direction and that you are able to really explore and answer the question you choose if you develop your own. So I would just love for you to if you choose the third option, to send me a real quick email by the 19th so that I can look over what you're working on. So the next 2 weeks, you are working independently on this. And when I say independently, I have been popping in this whole time to dropping in to give you more resources or some thoughts on essays. I will still probably continue to do that, but there's not going to be like formal lectures, and you really have all the space of this 2 weeks to be developing and writing this essay. Oh, one more thing. I want this essay to be no more than 5 pages, but you may need closer to 5. The cap before was 4 pages, but you may need closer to 5 for this because you're bringing in other sources that you have to analyze. And then the due date for this is the syllabus due date has not changed for this, but let me just remind myself what it is. 6/28. So you have 2 weeks to do this essentially. Our final is going to be 7/2, July 2nd. So I will check in with you 6/28 to remind you about that, or probably 6/29. The other thing you need to know is I am traveling for my MFA graduation. So I will be defending my thesis and traveling starting this weekend. I will still be available. I will be checking my emails every day. I'm going to make time during my residency to be working with you all. So if you have questions, if you need support, if you need help, I'll be checking my emails in the morning, sometime in the afternoon, and before I go to bed every day. So I will very much be here, and at that point, that's probably when I'll be uploading resources. If I get a bunch of emails of people saying they're having a hard time locating sources, I may do a little mini lecture on that, or upload some resources, or just talk about how I've done that for my own work, because as you know, I'm finishing up a program where I did a lot of the same work you're doing, analyzing literature, finding sources to support my thinking, and really going in depth with that analysis. So that's what will be happening for me. So you are working on your own these 2 weeks to write, but you are not alone. I am here. I'm just not giving you new material because I want you to focus on really doing a good job with this research essay. I have 14 more essays to do. I only got through 6 of them. I've been traveling this weekend for my sister's graduation from college. So I'm hoping to finish those by tonight or tomorrow morning. I'm doing the best I can, maybe by tomorrow afternoon at the latest. And please, please, please use all of that feedback and all of my my work that I keep posting under the folder on Blackboard that says writing resources and help. Look at all of that as you are constructing and building and working on your research papers. That is all I have for you for now. Of course, email me with questions, and I will talk to you soon.